Welcome you on a Sunday afternoon to Camden Yards as the Orioles have an opportunity to take this three-game set. This is the rubber match as they came away with a big victory last night in a 6-run ball game. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome. An unusual ball game last night. Even though it was 6-2 as the final, each team only had 4 hits in that. It's only the second time this year the Orioles have won a ball game where they had 4 hits. The Orioles did not leave a man on base in the ball game. The last time that happened was 2000, and the Orioles had some outstanding play. Take a look at the Stars on a Saturday night. After the rain, it took an hour and 11 minutes before the ball game started. Chris Tillman was ready to go, and I do mean ready. Longest outing of the season, 5 strikeouts, only 1 walk, and he said again today, it was that changeup. I had it working. I didn't have it in New York, but I had it last night, and indeed he did, and he came away with a W. For Adam Jones, another homer day. It was a go-ahead 3 RBI home run that came in the 6th inning. He now has had a home run in 4 straight ball games at home. No Oriole has ever had a home run in 5 straight games here in Baltimore. And for Mark Reynolds, we joked a little bit about give me the Gold Glove now. Just his 39th career game at first base, he was absolutely spectacular. None better than this, cutting down what should have been a double and turning it into a double play. I mean, that was a night where the Orioles played one of those complete ball games, Jim, and did what they had to do.
Yeah, and we saw them do that. Simone's going to pitch today. That's what they did in Kansas City on Tuesday night. It was 107 that day. But again, they pitched well. They hit well. They got the clutch hit. I mean, Adam Jones' career high now, 20 home runs. And then the bottom line, Tillman gave them a chance to win. It's probably as well the first 5 innings that I've seen him throw the ball ever at the major league level. So a real positive note.
And now, Jim, some cycles that the Orioles would like to also break through in this game.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is a huge game. And, you know, obviously you got to get better in the rubber matches. It separates the men from the losers. They don't hit lefties very well. And they got Romero, you know, obviously as good as anybody. But again, the one time they beat him this year is here at Camden Yards.
So the Orioles hope they can do that again today. There's going to be a special moment of silence coming up as the Orioles take the field. We want to have you listen in on that after the great loss by the U.S. Armed Forces and particularly the Navy SEALs yesterday in Afghanistan on that helicopter that was blown up. Let's go to the PA.
Gentlemen, remove your hats. On Saturday, United States forces in Afghanistan suffered the deadliest day of the decade-long war when insurgents shot down a CH-47 Chinook helicopter, killing 30 United States service members, many from the United States Navy SEAL Special Operations Force. To honor the memory of these heroic Americans and their families for their extraordinary sacrifices, we ask that you join us in a reflective moment of silence. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as we welcome.
Southwest Airlines new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. And by Hyundai. It's time to join the movement. Back here in Baltimore for the Orioles, trying to win a series with a victory here. They have not done that in the last 10 series that they have played this season. You look at the comparisons, the numbers last year and the numbers this year. The record, of course, is better. The series record is better, but it has been a while, 10 series since they've won one. The runs per game number is up. The home runs are clearly up, especially here at home. That ERA is actually down 4.83. It's called progress. It has been very slow. It would be nice to have a series win here today to wrap up this 3-game set. And on the season now, the Orioles 4 wins and 7 losses against the Jays. Let's take a look at our Train game time temperature, brought to you by Train. Right now it is 92 degrees and the humidity is way up there. It feels like it's 102. A chance of storms this afternoon. Visit Train.com for an independent Train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a Train. Here's the starting lineup for the Jays, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It'll be Davis, Escobar, and Bautista, Lind, Encarnacion, Rasmus, Arancibia, McDonald, and Laurie. Colby Rasmus, the 3 home runs, 6 games against the O's.
And our AFCIA scouting report this afternoon. Afternoon's scouting report brought to you by AFCIA. Visit AFCIA.org, the Association for IT Pros. Well, redemption up in Toronto. Alfredo pitched very well, but Romero pitched a little bit better. He gave up single runs first, second, and fourth inning. Kansas City, he was special, 107 degrees. 4 hits, 1 run, 106 pitches. The Orioles won that game. And then again, this is what starting pitching, pretty much across the country. Dallas here or whatever, you better be able to pitch in high humidity and warm temperatures. So they were very surprised. He was able to maintain 95, 96 miles per hour all the way into the 7th inning in Kansas City. And again, he hasn't started all season, so I think he's exceeded their expectations.
Indeed has done that, and the Orioles certainly have needed it with all the injuries in the pitching department to the starters. He comes in with a solid 1 through 5 innings, where his ERA is 1.8. After that, it jumps up to 6.1. So he's trying to extend himself as a starter, work deeper into the ball games, and get that pitch count at a level where he can go 6, 7 innings in a game. We are ready to go. Rajah Davis is going to lead it off. The speedster getting a start in this game. This is his first appearance in the series as Davis. You get him on, and almost guaranteed he's going to be at second base in a couple of pitches. He will pop that one up, though. High sky, lots of glare. Tatum doing the catching is over there, and he's got it.
Now take a look at the defense here. You already seen Craig Tatum behind the plate. Matt Wieters will at least initially get the afternoon off. Reimold, Jones, Markakis. Reimold broke up the no-hitter last night in the 6th for Brandon Morrow. Bell, Andino, Isturis. Blake Davis played second last night. Mark Reynolds second, actually third game over at first base. And then, as we mentioned, but he's been very, very good, very comfortable. And 39 games at first? This is his 40th game.
Yep. He has done a magnificent job at first base. Here is Escobar. 4-game hit streak for Escobar. He's had a hit in each of the first 2 games of this series. He's gone 2 for 8 in the series. Escobar, 120 hits on the season and a .303 batting average overall. Simone's delivery to him will be a fastball inside. Alfredo Simone 0-1 against Toronto, with the 6 career appearances, only 1 start. This is the second he's had against the Jays. 2-0 pitch to short. Tough play. Knocked down. No play. Andino trying to side saddle that one and couldn't hang on. We'll see what the call is on it.
A bullet right at Andino. I mean, he's been so good, second or shortstop. He usually catches it, but a short hop. And we used to always say, get the men and women, men and children off the infield when they're hit that hard. But again, tried to catch it, but I would imagine that'd be a base hit. That's an awfully tough error.
It is. It's a hit.
But you get that and have an idea about this team. Toronto, 4th in runs, 5th in home runs, 6th in on-base percentage. You don't want to get into fastball counts. And that's what happened right there, and he whaled it.
Here is Bautista. Amazing what the Orioles have been able to do this year in holding him down. He's gone 1 for 8 in this series. And on the season now, hitting .167 against the Orioles. It's a phenomenal breakthrough for Oriole pitchers to keep down the game's best home run hitter. But all season long, they've done that. See if they can do it today.
Yes.
He's never hit well either in this ballpark, which also helps, and that's got to be surprising. Here's a fly ball hitting home run hitter who's hitting .198 lifetime here at Camden Yards with 6 home runs.
Well, he did hit the 10 home runs last year. I guess he wore out his welcome as far as.
Breaking ball will miss up high to him.
Yeah, to give you an idea of how good he's been against everybody else, that's 6 for 36, but he's hitting .333 against everybody else. So again, not getting fooled by other teams.
Nope. He had a drought in home runs overall. He's had 2 in his last 5 games, but he went 14 straight games without hitting a home run from July 10 through the 31st. Nevertheless, he leads in homers with 33, but Mark Teixeira is now only 1 behind him. Teixeira got one yesterday and now has 32 on the year. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Escobar off first base, and the slider's going to miss outside, and he'll fall behind 3 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, and that's a product of number 1 kind of dropping down. He did it on 2 breaking balls right there. All of a sudden you look at yourself, well, this guy hits more home runs than anybody this year, 54 last year. I better make a perfect pitch, and didn't do it. So now you're into another hitter's count.
Escobar not moving at first base. Here's the 3-1 delivery to him. He was cranking.
Yep. Well, he doesn't get cheated. I mean, we saw him. He was a Rule 5 guy. He was with the Orioles for a brief time, and he's been around. But at the end of 2009, Dwayne Murphy, still the hitting instructor, Cito Gaston, said, let's get ready to hit. John Farrell, now the new skipper here in 2011. Get the foot up, get it down, and boy, what a home run hitter he's become.
3-2 delivery to him, and again it will be fouled away. Simone has given up only 3 home runs in the 51 innings that he has worked. 2 to lefties and 1 to a right-hander. Numbers are about the same left and right. 269 left, 263 by right-handers. And he's got up a hit an inning, as we showed you on his line, along with 15 walks. That means he's worked a lot with runners on base, either out of the pen or starting. 3-2 for the 3rd time, fooled him. And I mean fooled him. He knew it. He took a step to first, but he knew he was going to go the other way.
Well, again, we saw it up there. I mean, it's not a great breaking ball, but it's effective. Actually, it's a hanger, but he's not looking for it. 3 straight fastballs. I mean, you can see the look. That could be a couple of things. The home plate umpire, Bob Davidson, he would have rather, obviously, that he had called it for high, but he just tricked him. We saw Jacobassis with the bases loaded do that up in Toronto.
So he gets the out, and here is Lind. Lind has tattooed Oriole pitching much of the year, but in this series, they've held him to just 2 hits in 8 at-bats. Lind is the DH today. Encarnacion is making the start at first base. Against the Orioles for Lind, 368 this year, 6 homers, and 11 RBIs. 1-0 delivery to him, and a breaking ball that'll miss down low. 2-0 count.
Yeah, anytime you come into a series like he did with 30 at-bats and 6 home runs, you got the Orioles number. And one of those home runs against Simone, 2 for 5 lifetime. And once again, every hitter's count. It's not the way you want to pitch to these guys, or do you want to pitch on a day this hot?
Already up to 14 pitches, and it is really the, as Jim says, the heat today that necessitates you be efficient, or you're not going to be in there for a long game.
It's one of those days where I don't know if it's as hot as it has been, but the humidity well up there.
Showed you the heat index of 102. 2-0 count. And 1 to hit the first. Reynolds will knock it down, and he'll take it to the bag. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Simone starts up strong, and Dina will lead it off for the O's. brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Andino, Markakis, and Jones, Guerrero, Reynolds, and Reimold, Tatum, Bell, and Asturis, Vladdy against Romero. Ouch.
And our FCS scouting report on the 26-year-old left-hander out of Cal State Fullerton. On a roll, 3-0. I mean, you can go all kinds of numbers. We'll give them to you, but he's really been pitching well. Tough in the clutch. Nobody in baseball, 184 with runners in scoring position, is better. And then actually there's 8 right-handers in the lineup, but he gets righties out better than lefties.
So Romero goes to work and Andino will stand in. Even though the Orioles have the second worst win percentage in the majors against left-handers at 11-22, they have a better batting average against lefties than they do against righties. And they have beaten Romero twice this year. He is 2-1. It's already his 4th start against the Orioles this season. He is 5-3 lifetime against the O's.
They gave up 5 runs in his only start here, and then up in Toronto both times into the 9th inning.
Great ERA at 2.98, which is 9th best in the American League. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Andino with a little nasty inside out. Let me step back and foul it off. So
well, yeah, we used to call those emergency hits.
Did not get a good cut on that one.
Well, but that's all right. I mean, obviously the problem, if you don't make that kind of swing, you're out and you're going to get your glove. So
towards third base, that'll be handled by Laurie. Encarnacion first.
Take a look at the AFC Toronto Blue Jay. Davis, as we mentioned, the speedster in left. Rasmus with another home run last night. Batista, that's the outfield. Laurie comes up. Boy, really been swinging the bat there. Phenom from Canada. Escobar, McDonald, Encarnacion. He's not the DH today. He's over at first base with Lynn doing the DHing. And then JP Arancibia with a home run off Simone behind the plate.
Here is Nick Markakis. Nick has put the numbers up against Romero. 314 career batting average against him, including 1 home run. And as we've been noting, Nick pulling that average up now against the lefties to 286 and 283 against righties. And he had for a couple of months an average closer to the 220 mark against left-handers. That was up, and he chops that one foul. A 1-ball, 1-strike count from Romero. Romero's coming off a win against Tampa Bay in which he gave up only 1 run on 1 hit in 8 innings in winning that ball game by a score of 3-1. He has won his last 2, including a victory against Baltimore 3 starts ago. Here's the 1-1 to Markakis. Topped it foul.
He is not an overpowering guy. You've seen 89-92. He's got a cutter that he uses against the righties. He's got a curveball, great changeup. And the other thing he does, should play well here because this is a home run ballpark, he throws almost 2-to-1 balls on the ground. The ability to get the ground ball.
A lot of double plays piled up by this left-hander. 1-2 delivery, and Markakis will be the first strikeout victim.
Yeah, he is a guy that can maybe overpower you at 92 and then just take a little bit off the slider. And again, well located, 86. Really has a great feel for pitching. He's exactly what you want out of a #1 draft choice, and that's what he was. #1 for Toronto back in 2005.
And that will bring up Adam Jones. Adam has continued hot, an 8-game hit streak for him. This has been a very good series. He's had a 3-for-9 series with 2 home runs and 6 runs batted in the first 2 games of this series. He's now got a new high in homers with 20 and RBIs reaching a career high as well. He's pushing on to that 300 mark, closing in on it. He's 295 for the average coming into the ballgame. 1-0 delivery and a nasty pitch down and in.
Yeah, that's the cutter. Well, I thought one of the most interesting notes of the day was that he has now hit home runs in 4 consecutive home games. And pretty select company that he's with.
Well, one more and then he'll do something no Oriole's ever done. No Oriole has ever had a home run in 5 consecutive home games. And Romero bearing in on these right-handed batters. That's why right-handers are hitting only 206 off Romero. It's the pitch you're seeing that comes in on the fists of right-handed hitters, and if it's down low, is that Andino swing is forced on that pitch.
They call it one of those back foot sliders, right at your back foot if you're a right-handed hitter. And there's another one right there. And again, a little bit more velocity, cuts it in, then the change up away. And again, his comfort zone is against righties. Lefties, doesn't have quite the same arsenal, even though obviously he can get lefties out because he just got Markakis out.
256 for the lefties.
And there's Bruce Walton,
pitching coach for the Jays, who's had a staff that's being developed, much like the Orioles are trying to do. A lot of young pitchers in their system. 2-2 delivery, and he got him. So Romero starts out looking like Romero in the first inning. Couple of strikeouts, retires the side in order, and there's no score after one. Orioles turn. Debris going to win $1,000 from the Maryland Lottery. You can enter 2 great scratch-offs for a chance to win. See how you can turn non-winning double play or amazing 8 scratch-offs into cash or O's prizes. Just go to mdlottery.com/double play. And good luck, Deborah. Encarnacion. Encarnacion's got a 6-game hit streak. He comes in with a 2 for 5 in the series. Simone with a 1-0. And that's going to catch the corner to the dismay of Encarnacion.
Yeah, he kept dropping down on guys. They're talking about Alfredo Simone in Kansas City. And I said, do you do that on purpose the next day? He said, yeah, to confuse him. And it did. There's another one.
Got him. Wow. Got him to swing on that one. A 1-ball, 2-strike count. I mean, he just was not ready for that pitch.
And I'm sure, again, one, I think we talk about the first inning, the toughest for starting pitchers, because you have to come in, you got to acclimate yourself to the strike zone, the mound, et cetera, et cetera. But the other thing is, on a hot day like today, you warm up for 12, 15 minutes. You quickly come in, and if you have a long first inning, you're on your feet a long time. So you come in for the second inning, you sit down and you go, you know what, I threw too many pitches in the first inning. Got to be a little more aggressive. And again, you have an idea to find out what's working and what isn't.
2-2 delivery on the way, and that'll be inside. Simone's coming off a game in which he threw a career high 106 pitches. That was in that Kansas City game, 7 innings, a run on 4 hits. As a starter, 2-4, not a bad ERA. Reliever, 5-3, ERA a little higher. So a lot of games pitched, but the starting role a new one, only his 6th start this year. Get that one up. It'll be popped up to shallow center. Jones coming. Adams got it. Encarnacion retired.
Well, one of those grind out games. The rain delay, even though it was 2 hours and 9 minutes. They got home at a reasonable time. But this is what it's all about. Toronto trying to stay over 500. The Orioles just trying to win rubber games and make the last 2 months substantial like they did last year.
Last game of a road trip for Toronto. They are 2-3 on the current trip. The Orioles have this 10-game homestand that is underway, as the White Sox are coming in for 4 and then the Tigers for 3. So this coming week will be filled with a lot of baseball here at Camden Yards. Here's Rasmus, a 4-game hit streak for him. Rasmus hitting at .216 since joining the ball club in the much talked about deal. .246 with the Cardinals, and 11 home runs with them. 216. This is the 10th game for him with Toronto. 1 home run, 5 RBIs. 2-0 delivery, and that'll be to left field. Reimold.
Yeah, the bad news for the Orioles is the 3 home runs. The good news is you find out what he can hit and what he can. And that was a perfect 2-seam fastball. One thing about Alfredo, I always found out when you can throw, and he's got the 3rd best velocity right behind Verlander. He's number 2, and then a young pitcher, Buddy De La Rosa, actually is going to have Tommy John with the Dodgers. So can use that fastball, locate it, and get some easy outs.
J.P. Arancibia, the catcher. There you see the velocity count. He is among the leaders with Verlander second, Simone at 95, Felipe Polino and Michael Pineda of Seattle on that list. He took something off that pitch and 1 on count.
Yeah, 18 home runs. That leads catchers, and he did it a home run off Alfredo up in Toronto. That was in the 4th inning. Single runs first and second for the 3 runs he gave up.
Real good differential on the fastball and the off-speed pitches he's throwing. Change-up and off-speed curveball. It's a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. And the pitch before that, a 79-mile-an-hour breaking ball.
Well, I've always said he's got 4 pitches that when he throws them over, are quality pitches. He's got a slider. He didn't throw the splitter very much, but that was a pitch he favored when he was a closer. And then again, he's got the 2-seamer and the 4-seamer. But again, you could see it's about breathing here and how good a shape you're in. That type
you
of
talking
afternoon.
to me?
Yeah. Yes, well, both of us.
2-2 delivery is foul back. I'm going to continue to try and breathe despite what you may wish, even though it's a hot afternoon.
I don't know. I just ordered some deer antler stuff. Or whatever. I read about that. Yeah, you know.
The latest in better baseball through local pharmacies.
Yeah, they have banned. They have told all the major league players you cannot take deer antler, whatever it is, substance or
some kind of a ground up oil stuff.
You put underneath your tongue because of performance enhancing.
2-2 delivery, and that ball will be popped up to third. Bell will not have enough room. Nice catch, barehanded. Where's Rex? Sign him up.
That's right. Give that fan a contract. Anything to impress the ladies, and he did. Most of the time here in the stands, and I used to go to the Dodger Stadium Coliseum when I was a kid, trying to get out of the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Catch him with your glove, but if you got a drink and some popcorn, it's no time to catch something. Then don't spill the popcorn.
2-ball, 2-strike count on Arancibia. And jammed him. Tatum. He's got 2 in the ball game and a 1-2-3 inning for Simone. So the Orioles will try and get it going with Guerrero to lead it off in the 2nd inning. Mark Teixeira is chasing him down. Curtis Granderson has a rate that's gone down a little bit in the home run department, but still there. And then Mark Reynolds with 24, tied with Cruz and Konerko ahead of them. Call today for the Luna Double and get your second room of flooring free. Call 877-241-LUNA. Young man enjoying the game. Well, turn around.
Yes.
Come on. Turn around. What's going on? Dad, is he up yet? Can't watch. Here's Vladimir, who's got a 0 for 6 going in the series. About to be 0 for 7.
Yep. And he came in, 10 for 24 off of Romero. And he's again stayed out of the middle of the plate. He can do that when he's on his game. He's really, again, good stuff, and the combination makes him one of the toughest lefties. 13 wins 2 years ago, 14 last year. This year has pitched as well. As you mentioned, Gary, a ERA of under 3 runs a game. They have not gotten him as many runs in games he pitched. So that's why the one-loss record at 9-9.
Here is Mark Reynolds, a 1 for 6 in the series. And for Mark, it's been both the bat, grand slam off Romero. That came on June 4 when he launched one. And in this series, it's the glove. And he did launch that.
Well,
here's the 0-1 pitch to him. And that'll be taken outside for a ball. Mark continues to be not only one of the leaders in the home run department that we showed you, but he is 9th in the league in walks with 59, tied with Kevin Youkilis in that department. 1-1 pitch. Fastball down and in that will miss. 2-1.
Tied with the Greek god of walks.
The Greek god of walks, Kevin Youkilis. Yes.
Even though he's Jewish.
Yes.
Of course, I'm not sure if Michael Lewis knew that or Billy Beane did when he coveted him. Because, he's featured it. He was the on-base guy that the whole model was about.
Well, that was a problem right there, you see. Thou shalt not covet, and that created the problem.
Well, we all have problems, don't we?
Whoa! Let us not begin in a 9-inning game to start down that road. It's too hot a day.
Oh, is it? When your glasses are fogging.
Well, that was part of the problem. That's one problem. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Up in the air center. Bautista coming from right. Will take it, though. And there are 2 down. Tomorrow, the Orioles have a 4-game series beginning with the White Sox, 7:05 tomorrow night. And on Tuesday, don't miss your chance to save with Ollie's Bargain Night, presented by Ollie's Bargain Outlet. Every Tuesday, all upper reserve seats are only $9 in advance. For tickets, 888-848-BIRD, to go to Orioles.com. Chicago White Sox looking to hang in the division. And it's been a roller coaster season for that ball club. And they're 6.5 games out. Detroit leads Cleveland by 4 in the Central. Red Sox Yankees tied for first in the East. And Texas with just a game lead over Los Angeles. Nolan Reimold, and he'll ground that one to third. Big hop. Laurie's got it. And he gets it over there in time. So another solid inning. Retires the side in order. Romero is sitting down the first 6th base. Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. The saving grace so far weather-wise is the fact that the sun has actually been behind some high clouds. If that sun ever bursts through, we will be in the upper 90s in a heartbeat, starting at 92 degrees for the ball game.
Yeah, there seems to be, and when we look way out past the ballparks, a little bit of breeze. A slight one here at Camden Yards. So maybe a little airflow. That's what you like. I mean, it's going to be hot. It's August. It's Baltimore. Ideally, you can't play all the games in San Francisco or Oakland. Can you?
It'll be nice this time of year, though, wouldn't it?
It will be. Week after next.
Here's John McDonald. McDonald, Laurie, and Davis at the top of the order. Yeah, McDonald getting his first appearance in this series.
The 37th start of the year. 9 years in the big leagues now.
He's become one of the super utility players. He's making his 13th start at second base. He's had 9 at short, 15 at third.
And years ago, came up with Cleveland, Detroit for a brief time, and then most of his career is hanging breaking ball right there, swings through it. Last year's, I think, surprised everybody, including himself. 6 home runs, career high, and 250 at bats. So, but he can play shortstop.
Great bench player. Here's the 0-2 delivery to him, and that's going to be outside. Simone with no walks and a strikeout so far.
Yeah, they play him very, very shallow. I mean, Adam Jones playing probably as short as about anybody other than maybe Chris Getz of the Royals.
And perfectly positioned. It's going to give him a chance to get to the ball. And he'll not have to.
Well,
Jones was so close, I don't think Andino realized that it was going to be that close going by.
Well, that's great when he catches it. Adam could have just run him off and made it a little bit easier. Must not have a put-out clause in his contract. Otherwise, he would have get out of my way. But either of them catch it. Nice play by Robert.
And Dino was like, what are you doing there? I was playing shallow. And the pitch taken by the rookie. Oriole fans getting a chance to see Laurie in his major league debut and get a hit in his first time up. He was really putting up some numbers in the Pacific Coast League in AAA. He was playing at Las Vegas. .353 batting average. And his OPS, on base plus slugging percentage, and slugging percentage both led the league at the time he was called back to Toronto. Pitch is going to miss down low, and a 2-ball 1-strike count.
When you're going to have like 24 doubles, 6 triples, 18 home runs in 69 games, almost drive in an RBI a game, steal, 30 some bases, I mean, you've got a pretty special player at that level.
Yep.
And now he's going to get an opportunity to prove it here.
2-1 delivery on the way, and a base hit into right field.
It really appears that he can hit the heater. Hasn't yet been forced to hit a breaking ball.
So he's on again. Take a look at our league leaderboard, brought to you by Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. Action-packed table games and red-hot slots await at Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. Fewest wild pitches in the American League this season. The Orioles only 21. Indians, Rays, Twins, and Rangers. Simone has had only 1 wild pitch on the year, while Romero has thrown 6. The starter.
Yeah, a lot of that has Matt Wieters and then Craig Tatum, who's catching today. They do a great job of blocking balls in the dirt. Because if you watch Major League Baseball, if the ball hits the dirt, it's going to be a wild pitch, even if the pitcher might have caused it.
Laurie is a base stealer in his minor league career. 62 stolen bases, caught 28 times in 300-plus games. Bunting for a base hit. Raja Davis, who popped out his first time up, the leadoff batter. He had Bell back at third, so tried to lay one down, but that's one, if he gets it down, he's got a base hit.
Yeah, you really have to take the bunt away from him because, again, of course, with a base runner in front of him, as you mentioned, 33 steals, maybe not as significant, but certainly can score on any long single or a double.
Gogo Crisp leads the American League in stolen bases with 37. Brett Gardner and Davis are tied for second with 33. A 1-ball 1-strike count. Laurie on at first, getting some instructions over there from Corey Lavallo, the first base coach, as Davis checks at third with Brian Butterfield, see if anything's on here. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away. No score, third inning. Against Simone. Not enough stolen bases or chances at this point. See whether or not he's going to be solid at holding him on.
It seems like he has a pretty good awareness.
Yeah.
And again, not a high leg kick, so just watch his front leg and see how high he picks that up. And yeah, see, very narrow, and he's strong enough to still have good stuff. Well,
right underneath the glove of Bell. Yep. Bell was playing in and did not get down on that ball at all. That will be an error, and the Jays have 2 on.
Well, that's what the bunt, or at least the opportunity, a chance of bunting. You play in, and again, you want to be right where, see right there, he comes in another step. It's an easy play because he's on his grass. Watch him get caught right where the lip of the infield is. So there's your cardinal no-no. You either got to play where you can catch it on the grass or where you can get it off the dirt. But if it's going to hit the lip, very tough play, and that's why it went through his leg.
So now Escobar, with runners on at first and second, gets the chance. He got a single his first time up. Now has a 5-game hit streak. Escobar at 310 with runners in scoring position will put that one in the air to center. Jones going back, tagging up Laurie. Laurie will take off, and the throw will come into second. Laurie scoots over to third base with 2 down.
Yeah, smart play by Brett Laurie because he knows he can make it. Good play by Adam Jones because you still have a force out.
Now Bautista.
And you hope that, if you're rooting for the Jays, you're hoping that the Jays can do what the Orioles were able to do after Escobar made that error last night. And then we had the 3-run home run. And anytime you can get Bautista to the plate with runners in scoring position and a chance to hit a long ball, it's a bonus.
3 unearned runs for the Orioles last night in the 6 they scored. And the hold on at first base as Davis, with that tremendous speed, could take off here. There are 2 down, however, and you certainly don't want to take the bat out of Bautista's hand, even though he is struggling against the Orioles. And Bautista will take it for a strike.
Yeah, I think that John Farrell figures another thing, and it's a factor that I know Frank Robinson used to talk about, is that a lot of times when you have a guy jumping around, it does distract you a little bit. But he has the ability here to steal a base and do it easily.
Here's the 0-1. Davis goes, pitches outside. Tatum's throw is a good one, but not in time. So Davis will pick up the stolen base.
Yeah, he didn't even get a good jump. Again, he just kind of slips a little bit on his first step. Watch him right here. A little stumble, and then all of a sudden, this tells you what kind of base stealer he is. Makes it easy. Nice, strong throw from Craig Tatum. Maybe a little bit lower. Might have been a little closer.
So now 2 on the pond for Bautista, who's hitting .244 with runners in scoring position. And down to first, and it's a fair ball that cued off the end of the bat. Laurie will score, Davis will score, Bautista's got a double and 2 RBIs on a pool cue shot.
Well, they always talk about even a blind squirrel can find an acorn. This is not his intent. He's trying to whale it somewhere and hits it right off the end of the bat. And this is why sometimes you just can't control what goes on. You can't control the error. You can't control that. He gets to hit the ball softly. I mean, good pitch, outside corner, right off the end of the bat. And there's a lot of luck involved in this game. I'm not taking anything away from an awfully good player, but it's not what he was trying to do.
76 RBIs ties him for 6th in the American League. Lind in the air, left center. Reimold will put it away. So the error costly. It gave Bautista an opportunity, and he took advantage of it. And 2 unearned runs on the board. within a yard, a park within a park. It's the Oriole Park Kids Corner. There's interactive areas for the family, climb and play area, batting cage, pitching station, murals, flat screen TVs, kid-size, life-size bobbleheads of the Oriole bird, moon bounce, floating T-ball area. Have a great time at it as part of your day at Camden Yards. Located on the ballpark's main concourse level, just inside Gate C. It's the Kids Corner. Every corner is a Kids Corner.
Yep.
Here's Tatum. In the air to center field. Rasmus. A pitch and an out.
Yep, well, that's what you have in mind if you can control the ball. I mean, it's, you know, they give you a baseball, you put it in your hand, and you try to keep it out of the middle of the plate. Romero, at least against the Orioles, in fact, apparently everybody's able to do that. You know, he's just gotten, that's what, 22 pitches to get 7 outs. Pretty efficient.
He has been that way both last year and this year. He made his major league debut last April, or April of 09 rather, then got his first full season in last year, and a real good looking left-hander. Here's Josh Bell, and Bell will take the pitch for a strike. For Bell, 0 for 6 in the series. He's not had a lot of chances this year. His 9th game, 17 at bats. 0-1 delivery to him. Another one of those jam shots. Get maximum access to exclusive Oriole interviews plus special behind-the-scenes content available only through social media. Be the first to know when you like MASN on Facebook at facebook.com/MASNOrioles. Content you can't miss. And he's gone. That was quick.
Yeah, well, you know, again, this is a veteran pitcher in a sense because he comes out of a great college program. He's a #1 guy. You know, you saw a cutter, you saw a changeup, and now you see a curveball. Probably the first one he's thrown to a right-hander. He's exactly, I think it's, to me, when I see Ricky Romero, I look at Brian Madison. This is what they expected from Brian. You know, they both throw about the same. Brian doesn't have the cutter, but curveball, slider, changeup repertoire, except Romero's been able to maintain his stuff, and Brian slipped back a little bit.
Pitch after pitch by Romero right in the same spot to these right-handers. Is Torres making his return from the DL on Friday? He had a 1 for 3 in the ball game, being activated, getting a start again at second base, only his 3rd start this year at second, and a comebacker, Romero, in a very quick inning. And just as happened last night, the first 9 have been retired by the Toronto pitcher. Baseball on MASN is brought to you by AT&T, the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. With Jim Palmer, I'm Gary Thorne. The Orioles try to take this series. The Jays have jumped out to the 2-0 lead as we go to the 4th inning. 2-3-0 for the Jays, 0-0-1 for the Orioles. The Orioles, of course, were no hit in the ball game last night through the first 5 innings. And they have had the first 9 retired in this ball game. Encarnacion flied out to center. Rasmus and Aaron Sebia will follow. And Simone will miss the outside corner for a ball.
Yeah, he's giving him a different arm angle. It's he hasn't quite be able to throw a lot of pitches from that zone.
Encarnacion in the off-speed pitch out in front of it, enough to foul it off.
You made a great point, though. I know you make a lot of great points, but one of your great points that you made earlier, I'll phrase that as that.
Thank you.
Is the change of speeds, and that's what you try to do as a starter. So if you're 93 to 95 or 6, and then you got that 78 mile per hour curveball, even if you hang it, sometimes you can get away with it, as he just did.
1-1 delivery. Encarnacion again chopping it foul.
And then there's the two-seamer with pretty good late movement.
He wanted that one.
Yeah.
He's gone 0 for 6 in his at-bats against Simone.
What Alfredo didn't want is to have that extra out, that error by Bell, and then Batista hit one over the, kind of cue it over the first base bag. And there's again another look. The confusion delivery. As long as you can find your arm slot, that can work. Dennis Martinez, when he first came up, that would get Weaver on a dead sprint to the mound because he wouldn't find it.
Here's the 2-2 delivery. Tried to jump on that one. He's had a couple of pitches in this at bat that he would like to have back. That was one of them right there. And
yeah, hanging splitter, and he's such a good high ball hitter. You know, the numbers from an offensive standpoint are down as far as home runs. Hit 21 of them last year. He does not get cheated, and he's a bigger guy than you think.
Ground ball to the hole. He's got a base hit.
Yeah, when you end up in the middle of the plate, he's going to have a good swing.
That's a leadoff single. Time for our AT&T Mobility Trivia Fact. Did you know Toronto's the only team in the American League to have pitchers win the Cy Young for 3 straight seasons? How about that? All the great pitchers. Henkin and 2 by Roger Clemens, 96, 97, and 98.
20 games. And that was the year the Orioles won the wild card. He won his 20th game, I think, against the Orioles up in Toronto. I think Brady Anderson, that's the year I think Brady hit 50 home runs, could be. And they homered. Either I think Brady or Robbie Alomar hit a home run off him, but he still won. But he could pitch.
Bullpen coach.
Yeah, he could really pitch. Out of Detroit, Michigan.
Rasmus with a runner at first base. Rasmus flied out his first time up. Speaking of which, who do you give the Cy Young Award to if you had a vote right now in the American League? If you asked that question 2 weeks ago, CC Sabathia without question. All of a sudden, wait a minute.
Whoa. But how about Jared Weaver?
Weaver's right in the middle of those two right there.
I mean, CC before last night's game, he had won 13 out of his last 15 starts. He can't beat the Red Sox.
That one in the air to right field. That's hit deep by Rasmus at the wall, and it'll come off the sign. Played by Jones. Runner will stop us. It'll be a double for Rasmus. Encarnacion just kind of cruising into third base, decided he wasn't going to be able to go home.
Yeah, he didn't get a good read, Gary. I mean, it's a hanging breaking ball. I mean, right out over the plate. Already 3 home runs. I mean, this kid's strong. Hit 22 home runs for the Cardinals last year. I mean, foot down. That's what you talk about, preparation to hit, and then you get a great pitch to hit. Put about 3 feet to the left. It's another home run. There's contact.
He thought it was gone.
Yep. Well, if it's over to the left, it is. I mean, with the high wall here.
Now Aaron Sebia, infield is in. And a strike taken. Encarnacion at third, Rasmus at second, nobody out. 5 hits in the ball game off Simone, and Aaron Sebia gets the RBI chance. He's not had a hit in his last 9 at bats, including an 0 for 5 in this series.
Well, if you want to see what kind of respect that the Orioles have for Ricky Romero, look at where the infield's playing. You don't have a lot of speed at third. You know you can't give up a whole lot of runs the way he's pitching, so you very rarely will ever play your infield in at this point with runners at second and third.
Encarnacion, I don't think will be going on contact here. In the air, you won't have to worry about it. That's going to be in the gap. That will get Encarnacion home. Rasmus home. Aaron Sebia goes to second. He's got a 2 RBI double, and it's a 4-0 Jays lead.
Well, you can get all the scouting reports you want, and JP Aaron Sebia, a better fastball hitter, but if you're going to throw them breaking balls, they can't be up in the zone. They can't be lazy, kind of hovering. And right there, he drops down. It just stays up. I'm not in love with that arm angle, but they are, and that's all that matters. 4 runs right here, and that's just about what they get Romero a game, 4.35.
So Arancibia comes through. That'll get him out of the 0 for 9 that he was in, and that's going to be 52 RBIs on the season. Adair out to have a conference. We're talking about just on the American League pitching leaders. Weaver is first in the earned run average coming into today's play at 178. Then Beckett, Verlander, Masterson, and Sabathia is fifth. In wins, Verlander and Sabathia are tied with 16 each. But that Red Sox thing on Sabathia really does stick out. He lost again yesterday. He's now 0-4 against Boston this year with an ERA of 7.2.
And ultimately, I mean, they will, of course, they vote for the Cy Young before you get into the postseason.
Down to third. That is a fair ball. Arancibia will come around to score. John McDonald's on his way to second base, and the doubles piling up. And so's the score. It is 5-0.
Yeah, you know, good fastball, bad breaking ball, and that's just a hanging slider. And Arancibia hits a double on a hanger. Rasmus hits a double on a hanger, and right here, slider, not a bad swing, but you speed up the bat. You're playing off the line where you should play. And there's another run, and another runner at second base. And don't think, I mean, the way the game's involved, they watched his last start against Kansas City. They saw the arm angle. They saw that Kansas City's a little bit younger team, and they got some good pitches to hit and missed.
Here is Laurie. Laurie's delivered a single. He has scored a run, and that will get Bergeson up in the bullpen for the Orioles. As there have been 3 consecutive doubles, 4 consecutive hits in the 4th inning. That's a fair. Oh, sorry.
Yep, barely.
That just missed going over the bag. Jerry Lane right there.
Well, Brett Laurie has no problem getting to the fastball. And we started seeing that in his first game on Friday night. And this ball, ooh. Well, Jerry Lane, yep.
I think that ball was fair.
Well, that was a pretty emphatic foul.
That's the way you got to do it if you're an umpire, especially the crew chief. And he did. Close play.
Yep. And he's got the best view.
Yep. And he went around on that, going after a pitch up high from Simone. He is an attack hitter, and that's his. And by nature, that's what he is as a player. He will. I mean, he's going to be diving in a little bit. He's going to be attacking the baseball. He is fearless at the plate. 1-2 delivery, and that'll be taken outside.
Well, he's he's very strong, and what I see is, if you watch him, a very short stroke, and we saw that on the. The first at bat he had against Tommy Hunter. He got 2 strikes and then worked at the 2-2 and then hit a BB up the middle.
2-ball, 2-strike delivery. Yeah. Before long, we'll be doing side-by-sides of Laurie and Pedroia. They remind me of each other the way they look. Laurie's actually a little bigger, more muscular up top, but they both have the same kind of look at the plate. I mean, they are both extremely aggressive in coming across to the bat, pretty quick with it, and both of them will stand in there. I mean, they are least concerned about a 90-mile-an-hour fastball in the ribs as probably anybody in baseball. They're 2 guys who they're not going to think about that. You could hit them 5 times a game, and the 6th time they get a double out of you.
Yeah, he reminds me, I guess, probably, the way he looks of a young hitter that came up through the Red Sox hitter, Shea Hillenbrand, who had a couple of good years. He might have been Rookie of the Year one year, close to it.
2-2 is going to be hit to center. Jones, runner tagging at second. And the throw will come over to third. He may get him. Nope. If it was on the mark, he would have had a shot, but McDonald will get in.
Well, another good base running play. Again, it's depth. You forced Adam to make a perfect throw. I mean, he makes a very good one, but it's just off a little bit. And you could see his reaction in center field. I mean, he knew the accurate throw might have thrown out John McDonald.
A running team, they will take chances on the base paths and situations like that, and it forces the infield in again. That's how that play changes everything. There's only one away. If he stays at second, the infield can stay back. Instead, they've got to come in, which gives the advantage to Raja Davis, who has popped out, reached on an error. Runner's not going. Good play is Turris, and gets the out. Hard hit ball, especially when you're drawn in. As Turris gets it, and the decision not to go on contact kept that runner at third base.
I mean, that's a little bit surprising because even if you go, you force Izturis to catch it, make a perfect throw. And then if you don't, you got Davis, who's got 33 steals to steal. So I don't think it's a good play with a slow guy over there, but speed. Not a little bit surprised they didn't send him.
Escobar looking for the 2-out RBI. You see this series 8 for 19 with runners in scoring position for the Jays. The Orioles have gone 3 for 14. They took advantage of everything last night. As we said, they did not leave a runner on base, the Orioles, in last night's game. Grounded to short, looking for the 3rd out. Andino's got it. And they get him. Escobar retired, but 3-run score in the inning. Arancibia a couple of RBIs, McDonald the other. Visit Verizon.com/get Fios. This state baseball history, 1907, the Great Big Train. Walter Johnson won his first game. He'd win 417 before he was done. Mel Allen and Red Barber in 78 became the first to receive the Ford Frick Award at the Hall of Fame. And in 2010, J.P. Arancibia, doing the catching today, became the 28th player to hit a home run on the first pitch of his career. And he's behind the plate. And the Orioles are down 5-0. Romero has retired, all 9 faced. Andino grounded out his first time up. Andino against the lefties has been real solid, and now the Orioles need him to be again, and he's got one right there. Andino will take a turn and head down to second base. He's hitting over 340 against left-handers, and he gets a leadoff double.
Well, not only does he hit lefties, he got real smart the second time. You can't look both sides of the plate early on, because otherwise it's like hitting with 2 strikes. We know that's under 200 for almost all the hitters. That's the average. So you got to either look in or out. Now watch him come in, and he's looking in. I mean, look at it's about getting the bat head to the ball. So he's looking in, he's cheating. Why not? They don't call you out on strike 1 or 2. Those are the adjustments you have to make against a guy Romero. He's that good.
First hit in the last 6 innings that he's pitched, coming off that one hitter in his last outing against Tampa Bay. Inside and got him. So Markakis is hit by a pitch. That is the 9th hit batter by Romero this year.
Well, again, he doesn't like to stay in the middle of the plate, so he's trying to come in a little bit. All you have to do is look at Arancibia. He's not way in, but he doesn't have to reach too far. So a gift. Orioles need base runners, and Ricky Romero helps them out.
John Lackey leads the American League in hit batters, 14. His teammate John Lester right behind him with 10. And Austin's also got a Chavez in that group. He's got 9 batters hit. And Romero, that's the 9th batter he's hit, tied for 3rd. Now Jones, a strikeout victim his first time up. 8-game hit streak for Adam. Hitting .294. He will take the pitch for a ball. For Adam this year, .274 against the lefties, only 4 of his 16 home runs have come off left-handers. 17 of his 20 home runs have been hit here at Camden Yards.
Yeah, one of them was that 2-run shot on Friday night against Brad Mills, a left-hander who started for the Jays.
1-0 delivery, and that's a strike. Center fielders noted for the long ball over the history of baseball. Since 2009, Curtis Granderson's had more than any other center fielder. Matt Kemp, the great Dodger. Then Jones, Chris Young, and Colby Rasmus. Two of them in this ball game, Rasmus and Jones. 324 lifetime off Romero with a homer. Runners go, double steal, and it is fouled away. Andino had it stolen.
Yep. Yeah, about the only thing. I mean, 17 attempted steals against Ricky Romero. I mean, it's not a horrible percentage, just that they tried to steal 17 times, which seems a lot against the lefty. But again, he does everything so well, so you got to have something you can improve on.
McDonald moved in to talk to him about keeping an eye at second.
All you want to do, all you want to do is make him stop.
Yep. So Jones now with a 1-ball 2-strike count. Outfield played towards right on Adam. 1-2 delivery and taken. There's one. And there's two. Escobar to McDonald. Encarnacion, a double play. Andino goes to third. 2 down. Thursday is the final T-shirt Thursday of the season. First 10,000 fans 15 and over going to get the Jake Arrieta T-shirt presented by Real Street Staffing. Get your seats in advance. 888-848-BIRD to go to Orioles.com. 2 down, runner at third base. Vladimir Guerrero grounded out his first time up. Gliding in the air to center, Rasmus. And a potential rally on a couple of pitches is done. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a base runner left on. America's largest and most reliable wireless network. Really nice shot, isn't it? Through the window. In the warehouse. 5-7-0 for the Jays. 0-1-1 for the Orioles. Simone getting touched up for 3 runs on 4 hits in that 4th inning after 2 unearned runs are scored in the 3rd. He gets Bautista, Lind, and Encarnacion 3-4-5 in the order. Bautista with a 2 RBI double in the 3rd inning, and he has struck out. They put the shift on in the infield against the right-hander. Blake Davis has come in to play at second base as his Torres is out in the air to right field. And handled. We'll assume as Torres has got some physical problem coming out.
You know, he on the disabled list in rehab because he had the what they call a transposition, where you have an ulnar nerve in your elbow, his right arm. They move it. So it's a fairly complicated surgery. Takes a while to heal. But again, not a lot of rehab, so you just wonder, hot weather, maybe hope it's not anything serious.
They're calling it a left groin strain. Yeah. Wouldn't be a day without someone going out of the ball game with the Orioles. Buck Showalter, another day of juggling. Here's the 0-1 pitch. More juggling's got to happen for the Orioles in the White Sox series. There are 2 games without a pitcher named yet. Guthrie's going to open against Danks tomorrow, and then somebody against Gavin Floyd game 2, Tommy Hunter against Philip Humber game 3, and somebody against Mark Burley in game 4. And all of that, as Buck Showalter continues to say, depends on what happens in the game before.
Yeah, well, assume that Tillman's going to come back and pitch on Thursday, you would think. But I think they're just asking him. Check with Jerry Lane to see if he swung. And then again, we'll just kind of see about the rest of them. That's why it's kind of important for Simone, even though he did, as you mentioned, the 2 unearned runs, and they got to him a little bit. Looked like they did a nice job of looking for pitches that he gets into maybe the 6th or 7th inning, and you kind of sequence your way through the back of your bullpen, and then maybe Bergeson's your starter on Tuesday.
Yep. And Lind again having to reach for that, will foul it off. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Lind is grounded out, flied up.
See, we've seen a good fastball today, maybe not command, but again, it looked like they did some good scouting. So when he hung breaking balls, which was really what that 3-run 4th inning was about, they were ready.
2-ball, 2-strike delivery to Lind, and got him. That's strikeout number 2 for Simone.
Yeah, big difference when you get ahead and then you can pitch out of the zone versus being behind and then you throw the hangers. Perfect curveball.
And our Jeep Expo brought to you by the 2011 Jeep Compass. 2 down, nobody on, 5th inning. Encarnacion, a single and a run scored. He's 1 for 2. Now has a 7-game hit streak going and continues his numbers against the Orioles this year, hitting 286 with a home run and a couple of RBIs against the O's.
Yeah, I've had a lot of conversations with Alfredo since he came to the big leagues. When you miss by 6, 8, 10 inches, what does it feel like? Why are you doing that? He said, I just fall off. My left arm. See, right there, he stays pretty square. Doesn't get the pitch, but it's over the plate. But he's a guy that likes to really use that front side. Doesn't extend a lot, but just kind of watch him. See if that front shoulder stays closed enough. And it did. But when he falls off left, everything's going to be down and away. So that's the feeling you need to be a good starter. So, okay, why is it going off there? Can I make the adjustment?
Down to third, another fair ball hit hard by Encarnacion, chased down by Reimold. Into second base, Encarnacion's got his 2nd hit of the ball game, and that's another double. That's going to be the 5th double of the day for the Jays.
Yeah, he leads this team with doubles, 28. And again, I mean, this is not a good team, 4th best offensive team in the American League, to get behind him. They have an idea of what they want to hit. They get to speed up the bat, looking fastball. That's what he got, and there's another extra base hit.
So a runner in scoring position with 2 away for Rasmus. He picked up a double his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Rasmus now has a 5-game hit streak, and he'll take the pitch on the inside corner for a strike. So a chance to add another run. That'll be hit number 8. 5 runs on 8 hits for the Jays. Rasmus 3 for 6 since coming over in the deal with runners in scoring position. Good off speed.
Well, they got a guy that can help you in a lot of ways in Colby Rasmus, and to do it, as we mentioned the other night, they dumped Vernon Wells, $21 million a year salary. The year before, they got rid of Rios, who's really underachieving this year. That's Alex Anthopoulos, and then John Farrell took over as the skipper this year.
Got him. Good pitch. Throttled back on it. 3 strikeouts. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left on base. Jays trying to take the rubber game up 5-0. Well, the errors and the 2 runs you can't count for, but they got to him when you were talking about that drop down on the arm.
Yeah, we got this. Well, yeah, he's just not commanding his stuff today. We got a number today that they're 27-0 when they score 2 runs, or they give up 2 runs or less. 37-0 over the last 2 years. That's the kind of game I think that you got to pitch against Ricky Romero. I mean, he's outstanding. He's on one of those rolls. 4 out of 5 quality starts, 3-0, 4 runs in his last 29 innings. And even when he gets in trouble, and we saw it last inning, able to come back. The best number in baseball when you get runners in scoring position. So you got to be real good. And Alfredo, he still got into the 5th inning. He's not at his best today.
Romero has had problems with the middle of the Orioles lineup. They've put up some pretty big numbers against him, Markakis and Jones and Guerrero. But so far today, they've not been able to get to him. Orioles hope maybe that'll change.
Yeah, and what the good pitchers, what they do, you know who hits you and who doesn't. Therefore, when you look at that 9-man lineup, you know who you better get out. If you don't, maybe you pitch around them a little bit, depending on the circumstance. But 5-0, Romero's going to be aggressive. And again, the grand slam by Reynolds is the big swing against him this year.
That'll be fouled off. Mike Reynolds at the plate. He gave up, Romero did 1 hit in his last game, and that's what he's given up so far in this game. Andino got the double in the 4th inning for the only Orioles hit so far. Reynolds batting in the 5-hole, flied out to right field. His first time up, 217 with 24 homers and 60 RBIs. The off-speed pitch, and that almost hurt him. He was way out in front of that, so much so he actually went down and is getting up with a little limp.
Yeah, the curveball, when thrown properly, the changeup, it's designed to change the eye level of the hitter, get him out on his front foot. I mean, this is going to be, so he gets set, and then I think he hits his foul foot. Might have hit it right off the left foot.
So he'll regroup. Davidson gives him a minute outside the strike zone. 0-2 count. Second baseman McDonald played over to the near second base on him. That one bounced and hit him. Romero just a little bit short, as Mr. Yuka would say. So why me at bat?
No.
1 ball, 2 strike count. And Reynolds will foul it away. You take a look at what scouting reports do. If you look at the infield, really unusual alignment. The shortstop's moved way over towards third, Escobar, deep in the hole. Second baseman McDonald's almost behind the bag, so you get 2 big holes, one between short and the second baseman, and the other one between first and second. That's where they say the ground balls go, so that's where they are.
And then Davis plays him the pull in the outfield and left, and Rasmus is a step into right center. So there's a huge, hit it here. That was the old lottery sign, wasn't it?
Hit it here.
Hit it here.
Win a suit. Here's the 2-2 delivery.
That's the old days.
That was the Polo Grounds, wasn't it?
Yep. Exactly.
Hit it here, win a suit. Because the sign was about 580 feet away. But
well, plus where the clubhouses were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody ever won a suit on that sign or not. 3-2 count on Reynolds. And he lifts it way up in the air.
I think he won a suit.
Back, and you got a new suit. Goodbye, home run.
Yep. Take that. Of course, Romero says, you know what, I'd rather give up a solo with a 5-run lead than the grand slam you hit off me the last time we played here.
So he continues to pound him out. Got it on a 3-2 pitch. Our Dodge Ram Expo brought to you by Ram Trucks, designed, tested, and proven to be the best trucks we've ever built. Ram.
Yeah, a lot of hang time on this home run.
It's about as high a home run as you'll ever see. And for Reynolds, that will be number 25, and he's got 61 RBIs.
Well, I always thought, and it's nice to get a 5-0 lead, and it's only a solo home run, but when they start pecking away, you start looking to see if anybody's warming up out there, and that's what the Orioles want to do.
Nolan Reimold right back to the mound. Romero.
Well, what a great changeup that was. That ball must have moved 6 inches.
And our PNC Minor League report brought to you by PNC. For the achiever in you take a look at Kyle Hudson. He's moved all the way up. Frederick, Bowie, and Norfolk. And there are the numbers that he's put together at all of those places. They are pretty impressive. 46 runs scored, 29 stolen bases for Hudson. Those are real solid numbers. Hudson out of the University of Illinois, 4th round in 08, 116th. And it came to picking. He was an outstanding football player, receiving topped the Illini in receiving yards and was named the top rookie and outstanding wide receiver in 06.
An athlete.
Yes. Craig Tatum.
Yeah, it's the kind of player in the minor league Buck Showalter anybody wants.
In case you get in a brawl, you want to have someone to follow out there.
Well, that too, but
be that guy. Here's the 1-1 delivery to Tatum.
I'd be right behind the national junior judo champion, Tommy Hunter.
Tommy Hunter, good.
Tommy, hey, come on, let's go out there. Let's go get him. Come on, come on. Why are you behind me? Come on.
I like that. Here's the 2-1 delivery to Tatum. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Yeah, you want it out over the plate, and he just keeps either running it away from you or just the cutter. The cut fastball, if you throw it like a normal fastball, a little pressure in the middle finger, and righty to lefty keeps coming at you if thrown properly.
2-2 delivery, and Tatum will foul it away. And speaking of behavior, good story in New York Times today about Joe Torre, who's taking over as the disciplinarian in the commissioner's office. Very upset about players' actions of late, saying players have really gone over the line in their behavior. Relationship between players and between umpire players is not going to get better unless players understand that with the privilege of playing the game, there's a certain amount of respect you have to play with. The incidents: Yadier Molina of the Cardinals, 5 games bumping an umpire and spraying him with spittle. Jared Weaver, 6 games throwing at the head of Alex Avila of Detroit. And Ramon Ramirez drilled Shane Victorino of the Phillies with a fastball because Jimmy Rollins stole the base in the 6th inning with an 8-2 lead. And Torre says this cannot go on, and Torre is going to start some programs, he says, that will address the concerns between players, umpires, and players. And he said, I'm ready to go with that, and apparently he's going to have some meetings.
Yeah, you'd like to think that your veteran players would stress the import of acting responsibly. And I watched the game with Jared Weaver, and Carlos Guillen, he hot dogged, he went all around, taunted him all the way around. But it was, when you're in a pennant race, you cannot afford to be the macho guy. You hurt yourself, you hurt the team. I mean, Weaver is so good. If he misses 6 days, one start, which it'll probably be, it could be the difference between getting in. And they need to win their division.
Yep.
And they're neck and neck with the Rangers. And there's so many times when you feel like you want to lose it, you just can't do that. So I mean, I just think you need to educate the players.
Weaver has appealed, so not serving that suspension yet. Bell going after one, an 0-2 count. Bell a strikeout victim. 4 Ks in the ballgame for Romero, who's not walked anybody. 5 runs on 8 hits for the Jays, a run on just 2 hits for the Orioles, the double by Andino, and the home run by Mark Reynolds. And Bell will go down swinging. 5 strikeouts, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. For Reynolds, he continues to pump the long ball and gets the Orioles on the board, a 4-run difference. Sports Report, Monday through Friday, 5:30 for the latest news in baseball. Tom Davis, Dave Johnson, Mel Antonin, Phil Wood. Roundtable discussions, looking at Oriole Park, and lots more tomorrow, 5:30 to 7, right here on MASN. I understand Jared Weaver has decided not to appeal, so he will take the 6-game suspension and will miss a start. J.P. Arancibia will lead it off. Arancibia doubled and 2 RBIs in the 4th inning, and fouls that one back. His first hit in the series, and it broke an 0 for 9 for him.
Yeah, it was a pretty nice at bat. He got a hanging breaking ball and hit it. Didn't pull off it, but hit it into right center field for that double. And again, the solo home run up in Toronto against Alfredo Simon.
6th inning, Simon is up to 85 pitches thrown on a very hot, humid day. 2 unearned runs came in the 3rd inning. Bell committing an error that left it open, and Bautista, a couple batters later, would get the 2 RBI double. And then in the 4th inning, Arancibia, 2 RBI double and an RBI double by McDonald. Foul back into the screen.
Now, one of these games where you go back and you look at your pitches, which is what starting pitchers do, and you go, you know what, my stuff really wasn't that bad. Command was a little bit off. And again, when I did use my breaking ball, a lot of them just were in the middle of the plate.
Loses that one up and in, and a 1-ball 2-strike count on Arancibia.
And then you couple it with the fact you're pitching against Ricky Romero, there's not a lot of room for error, which is what he learned last time when he got shut out up in Toronto against Romero. See, they're just not good breaking balls. They're just spinning a little bit. And you know, it's funny. I think anytime you come out of the bullpen, and we talked about it the other day with Tommy Hunter, if you're used to sprinting 100 yards and now you got to pitch as a starter, maybe it's more like a mile. You know, what's your tempo? What's the pacing? And that's the same thing that goes with Alfredo. But you know, the next day, I mean, and he pitched in 107-degree temperature on Tuesday, and the next day he's doing his work in the field. So that's one of the variables you can control as a starter. Are you ready to pitch? Are you able to acclimate yourself? And Buck Showalter said, I was surprised he was able to sustain the stuff he had in Kansas City. And
that one hung. It'll go to left field on a line drive, and Reimel will haul it in. Arancibia is retired. 2110 Utah Street, presented by Southwest Airlines, comes back Saturday, August 13. Birds Tigers will be playing. One low price, Utah Street bleacher seat. 2110 Utah Street t-shirt, and space is limited. So get your tickets in advance. 888-848-BIRD, Orioles.com, and join Adam and Nick. 2110. Turn this way. Thank you very much. McDonald, an RBI double, and he is popped out.
So I guess, does Adam have to change his number as we progress year to year? 21-11, 21-12.
No. Fair ball. Bell. Just missed.
What a play.
Catch by Reynolds, and Bell made a great throw.
Well, yeah, he made a great catch getting it, and maybe they're going to have to play McDonald to pull. He hit a double off the bag. This time it's going to be a single. Again, you could already see him out of the box right here. Just get something on it, which he does. And Reynolds hoping. This is about the longest throw you ever have to make as a third baseman. Nice stretch by Mark Reynolds, as long as you don't pull something.
That's going to be a single, hit number 9.
Now, let me give you another player who ended up, I think, with 449 home runs. Jeff Bagwell. Similar stance.
Yeah, Jeff had that real squat stance, and Laurie's got some of that going.
Yep.
A little more open. Jeff was squared up a little more. He's going to get hit by some pitches, isn't he, though? And he leans into pitches, and when he starts getting pitches inside on him, he's going to lean right into some, a la Bagwell.
Yeah. Well, of course, we said that about Jeter. And when he came up in '96, and here he is with 3,000 hits. He gets plunked. Brad Bergeson, third time up to it this afternoon.
One away, runner at first, runner goes. Hit and run, throw by Tatum. They got it still.
Yep.
Late coverage by Blake Davis, but the perfect throw allowed him to just take it and drop the glove.
Gary, the Ravens are looking for a backup quarterback. You throw sometimes where you think the receiver's going to be. That's what Craig Tatum does. Come on, and there we go, Blake. And I think it's the haircut that he got the other day. Look at him come out of nowhere to make the tag. There you go.
5 out of 18 for Tatum. And that is what catchers are taught to do. Throw to a spot. The perfect throw, of course, is right into the runner, just off the ground.
Yeah, if they don't get there,
not your fault.
No, let the center fielder
You
pick
will be
it up.
charged.
Well, of course.
In the air to right center field. Jones going back at the wall, looking up, and goodbye home run.
Well,
and there's another one for Laurie. Another first, his first major league home run.
I'll tell you what, he has hit 2 balls, a single to right field, and now the ability to drive the ball to the opposite field. Outside middle of the plate, up a little bit. And this is how you get the 18 home runs in the minor leagues in 69 games, 24 doubles and 6 triples. You can pound the ball.
And that will be it for Simone, with Bergeson warming up. So these teams continue to pound each other with the long ball this year. And that one will take Simone out of the ball game. The 6th run scored on 10 hits. Walked none and struck out 3, and Bergeson will come out of the pen.
August 10th, 1981. Al Ripken makes his major league debut. It's running for 10 seconds into the 12th inning of a game at Memorial Stadium. Ripken scores from second base on John Goldstein's game-winning single as the Orioles beat Kansas City 3-2.
A couple of the runs unearned, but trailing, and Bergeson on to pitch.
Yeah, one of those games for Alfredo, wild in the strike zone, even though he didn't walk anybody. Brad Bergeson, last appearance, of course, became a new dad on what I believe Monday. Parker Stephen and his wife Shay came in. 3 of the 4 hitters in a third of an inning in Kansas City reached. So you can see 96 hits in 79 2/3 innings. At the end of the day, he's got to start sinking the baseball.
He will face the top of the order, Rajah Davis. Davis has had an 0 for 3 in the game. Did reach on a big error in the third base that kept that inning open and allowed the 2 unearned runs to ultimately materialize in the inning. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. Base is cleared, and the 1-1 pitch, and that will miss away. Davis 0 for 2 against the Oriole right-hander, Brad Bergeson. Talking about the home runs these teams have hit. 18 home runs for the Jays against the Orioles in 12 games. 18 home runs. The Orioles have hit 15 home runs against the Jays in the 12th game they have played. Both these teams are under a lot of home runs in the division. The Jays have given up more home runs against the Eastern Division than any other team. 62, and right behind them the Orioles have given up 61 against the East.
Yeah, you look at Bergeson's numbers, 8 home runs in 40 and a third innings against the Jays. There's a good breaking ball.
He got it. That'll do it. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. Laurie gets his major league first homer to make it 6-1. First pitches, Tech Sergeant Arnold Yawks and Mary Jane McWilliams, the mother of a son, Sergeant David Smith, who was killed in overseas duty, throwing out the first pitches today. And the Orioles out to take those and sign the baseballs, and they have stayed to watch the ball game. Compliments of the Orioles. Over 200 from the Armed Forces on hand, and that is Mary Jane McWilliams in the center talking there in the stands. Ball put up in the air to center field, and Davis will be retired. His first at bat, he came on for his tourist, who went out with the groin pull. And there's one away in the bottom of the 6th inning.
"56 pitches. Very efficient.
He was one of the leaders last year in fewest pitches thrown. He's been up there again this year. He's really turning into one of the real good, not just left-handers, but real good pitchers in the American League.
Well, he's won more games, and they've gotten him. I mean, he's only 9-9 this year, but 13-14 ERA's come down every year. Hits per innings pitch has come down. He's got to pitch around Andino. Stay out. Robert's a very aggressive hitter. Boy, I mean, he loves. Here's your perfect guy as a utility guy that you can match up against left-handers, and as you mentioned, hitting over 340.
Romero's got no walks and 5 strikeouts.
Jim Presley looking on, yeah.
Trying to figure out what they do with this left-hander, and he's among the many who've tried this season to figure out what to do.
You don't give him 6 runs. That's one thing, and that happened.
Opponent's hitting only 221 off him. That's the 8th best number in the American League. That'll go to second base, McDonald. 2 down. Orioles' upcoming schedule presented by Xfinity. You see the White Sox coming in for 4, then the Tigers will be in next weekend. Big series for the White Sox. They need wins to stay in their race. Catch all the action with Xfinity only from Comcast. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Get Xfinity today at 1-800-XFINITY.
Yeah, the White Sox, they just they keep hovering about 6 games behind the Tigers and the Indians, who are behind the Tigers, or the Tigers, as Ernie Harwell used to call them.
A busy week of baseball here at Camden Yards for the Orioles. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Nick Markakis, hit by a pitch, and he is struck out. Romero gets it in, and another ground ball. And another very solid inning. He retires the side in order. 6 complete on this Sunday afternoon, and it's a 6-1 Jays lead. Calendar. Proceeds benefit the Baltimore Animal Rescue and Care Shelter. 2012 pet calendar at 888-848-BIRD, or go to Orioles.com. Where are the birds? Where are the turtles? Come on, let's go. Just a bloodhound. Sure, Buck, come to the ballpark. Wife has to take care of the dogs. Take them for the walk. Take them out.
Sure. They walk you.
He gets 3 of them.
Yeah. Those 3 dogs, a lot of times you will see people being walked by their dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Big old dogs, and they're trying to keep up and not doing a real good job of it.
And Dino. He'll make the play. And Escobar is retired. He's got a 1 for 4 in the ball game. 1 away, 7th inning. Bautista and Lind due up for the Jays. Hottest team in baseball coming into this Sunday, the Philadelphia Phillies. They are rolling. They've won 9 in a row. They have a 9.5 game lead over Atlanta. CU, National League East.
Yep.
Milwaukee's got a 3 game lead over the Pirates. Over the Cardinals, rather. The Pirates have lost 9 in a row. See you, Pirates. They are 9 games out. And Arizona's a half game behind the Giants. Giants can't score a lick. Boy, are they struggling.
Not against the Phillies, they can't.
Wow.
Who can?
Giants were held again on Saturday for the 12th time in the last 16 games, held to 3 or fewer runs. Ball put up in the air to right field. Nick Markakis. He's got it, and there are 2 down. In our in-out and hoping board for A-Rod, it looks like all that gambling discussion is not going to result in any suspension, and A-Rod's getting ready to come back to play. Adrian Beltre, on the other hand, going to be out until the end of August. He aggravated that strained left hamstring yesterday. Brian McCann is hoping. He's trying to convince the manager to let him come back from the oblique injury. He's due off the list on Friday. He wants to come back. The team's not sure. Those players are needed by those teams.
Oh, yes. And the Beltre injury hadn't been activated, just trying to do a workout and made a quick move and re-injured it. Ron Washington, the manager, pretty philosophical about it. Just goes, well, that's hamstrings. And it is.
It is.
You go out there, they put the cones out, you got to do the figure eights, and then, of course, you get in the game, it tightens up a little bit. That's under the best conditions. And then make that sudden move. One of the biggest muscles in your body, the hamstring.
Inside pitch. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Adam Lind. 0 for 3 in the game. He's got a 2 for 11 in the series. Trying to keep a hit streak alive. Not this time. Brad Ferguson will get him second strikeout. 1-2-3 innings, 7th inning stretch time. Brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. Fly straight, drink responsibly. Our coverage on Masson 2 HD at 6:30 with O's Extra, presented by Verizon Wireless, and followed by our game at 7. All the access you need right here on Masson. And back here at Camden Yards, the 6-1 lead. Jay is on top, 7th inning stretch time. Ozzy's coming to town, so for 4 days we'll be guaranteed of enough material to fill a month's worth of broadcast. Ozzy talking about wanting to manage in Florida, and his GM not listening to anything he says. And
well, nothing new with that.
No, nothing
Kenny
new
Williams,
at all.
Obviously the White Sox have to get on the page, but in this game, get Romero out of there. He's too good. I mean that's your first thing. And their bullpen we've seen. John Roush did hang on with a 5-4 victory. But you want Romero out of there. Somehow you're going to have. He's not giving you any help today. He's been throwing nothing but strikes and staying out of the middle of the plate, with the exception of the home run to Mark Reynolds.
And even with the changes that were made by the Orioles for this year in their lineup, the numbers are very similar to last year against left-handed starters in ball games. They just struggle trying to find wins in those games.
Well, you mentioned 11 and 22, and one of the other numbers, how did the guys pitching against those left-handers fare? Today, Simone, real good on Tuesday. Today wasn't at his best, so 6 runs, even though 2 are unearned, and you just can't do that against Ricky Romero. You give him 6 runs, he's going to win most of those starts.
Ricky Romero will hang in there, and as Jim has noted, it's because of the pitch count that has been able to keep down. Even on this hot day, he still looks pretty darn strong out there. He has pitched so far this season 3 complete games and has 1 shutout. He lost 2 of those complete games this season, part of the 9-9 record that he's put up. Adam Jones will be leading it off. It'll be Jones, Guerrero, and Reynolds. We talked about the middle of this order. Markakis 314 against him. Jones 324. Guerrero 417 lifetime off Romero, but none of them have a hit yet in this ball game against him. Jones has struck out and hit into a double play.
Yeah, the Orioles had a chance to get back in the game in the 4th inning, and this is what he does so well. Better than any pitcher in the major leagues. Runners in scoring position numbers, 184 coming in.
Inside out. Yep. And there's that jam shot. He has continued to get right-handers with those pitches inside. 1 down. Don't miss your chance to meet Orioles pitcher Alfredo Simon on Friday at the Orioles official team store at the York Galleria Mall in York, PA. Alfredo will be on hand 11 until noon, signing autographs and having a chance to meet fans. That's Friday at the team store in New York. For details, go to OriolesReach.com. He retired the first night he faced, and Dino got the double off Romero in the 4th inning. Reynolds got the home run leading off the 5th. He has hit a batter and walked none. Otherwise, a dominating performance so far for Romero.
Yeah, the point I made is Andino doubles, he hits Markakis, and then he gets Jones to bounce into a double play, and Vlad flies out to center field. So much for a jam.
His record lifetime is 5-3 against the Orioles. However, in his last 7 starts, he's gone 5-1. And against the O's in those games, his ERA is 2.05. He's allowed only 1 run in the last, if we add them up here, with 6 innings in this ball game, in the last 24 innings against the Orioles, 1 run. Perfectly positioned, McDonald. 2 down. No, the only run on the board, it came in the 5th inning, compliments of Mark Reynolds.
Well, this is what he does. And again, one of them a grand slam. This one with a 5-0 lead, so you don't want to give them up. I mean, a rainbow high, one of the highest fly balls you'll see. And that's what Mark Reynolds can do. Now, there are games when I pitched, you want to have that extra outfielder standing in the seats, flicking them back. Or some NBA guys.
How about this one?
Yeah.
Way back, left center field. Everybody's just watching. Oh mercy God. Into the second deck. Goodbye, home run, and then some. Murrow, did he get a hold of that?
I am not. I can't ever recall anybody doing it. Now, I've seen guys hit Mike Liebenthal off of Sidney Ponson hit the mezzanine. I've never seen a ball hit that far to left center field here. And again, out over the plate, and you could see Romero put his head down. This is, what do they say about Josh Hamilton? Stupid power right there. That ball was launched. Never ever.
Wow.
Maybe batting practice at the All-Star game in '93. And who knows what kind of balls they're using, but never a real ball by a real hitter.
An amazing shot. 2 home run ball game. He's got 26 on the year for Reynolds. Reynolds has now had multi-homer games against Tampa Bay, Atlanta, Texas, and the Jays. 4 multi-homer ball games for Mark Reynolds. Here's the 1-1 delivery, and that'll be outside.
Yeah, don't think John Farrell, who is their skipper, pitching coach, player development guy, former pitcher, and a good one, doesn't know that It's been hot out there, so if you see the command go, you will see somebody get up in the bullpen.
A 6-2 ball game. 2-1 delivery.
And another great pitch right on the hands. Well, I tell you, it reminds me so much of the lefties I had a chance to pitch with. You know, Cuellar had the screwball. Romero has the changeup. McNally could the changeup to cut her in. And it'll come along Flanagan. McGregor, Scotty maybe didn't throw quite as hard, but had the great changeup. And then you saw Jimmy Key. I mean, the Orioles have been lucky with their lefties. Before that, Steve Barber, great sinker baller.
2-ball, 2-strike count on Reimold, and he'll take it foul. For Reynolds, he's now evened it up home and road. 13 home runs each here at Camden Yards and away.
Just imagine sitting up there in the mezzanine. You never expect to get a ball, and you get a souvenir. I mean,
and off the bat, he has that great sound. I mean, when he tees the ball up,
well, unless you're pitching.
Wow.
If you're pitching, it's not a great sound.
No. 2-2 delivery.
I mean, the ball that
taken up high.
The ball that Mike Lieberthal hit off of Sidney Ponson, I can still, because I kind of had that sound down pat, I can still remember the crack of the bat. You know when they're going.
That'll go towards the hole, knock down Laurie's gunner, and will get the out. But a home run by Reynolds, his second of the ball game, now listed as tying for the 6th longest home run here at Camden Yards, and it is a 6-2.
Runs early for the Jays, and then a 3-run 4th inning here at Sebia with a big double. 5-0 when Reynolds hits his 25th home run of the year. A high drive to left right here. Brett Lowry's Major League first right there. Home run to right center field to make it 6-1, and then here the launch job. Farthest ball I've ever seen hit here by a right-handed hitter. Way out of here. 6-2. Romero, there it is. A couple of runs on 2 solo home runs. Brett Lowry kind of telling us what everybody's been talking about.
Jays will bat in the 8th inning. Brad Bergeson came on, got the final out in the 6th, retired the side in order in the 7th. He's got a couple of strikeouts. And the pitch will be taken by Edwin Encarnacion. He's had a double, single, and a run scored, 2 for 3. A 7-game hit streak. Toronto on the road since the All-Star break. They've had real struggles. They're hitting as a team coming into this game only .208 on the road since the All-Star game, the second lowest number in the majors. But they've picked up 6 runs on 10 hits in this one, and now they've got 11 hits. So Encarnacion's got a 3-hit ball game, and that's a leadoff single. Time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Candidates: Mark Reynolds with the 2 big bombs he's put up. Ricky Romero still working on a 3-hitter, giving up only 2 runs. And Laurie, who's got the 2 hits, including his first major league homer. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, to 51862. The Orioles continue to lead the American League in percentage of runs that come via the homer. Up to 43% of the Orioles' runs come off home runs. And that obviously has not changed today. Both of them on the homers by Reynolds. Jones has been a big part of that with his home run output. Colby Rasmus a double. His one hit for the day. He has also flied out and struck out. And Rasmus will take that for a strike.
Yeah, Brad Bergeson came in 2 for 3 and that's in 7 starts against the Toronto Blue Jays. ERA of over 6 runs a game.
1 ball, 1 strike delivery. Taken outside by Rasmus. The Jays have now picked up home runs in all but one of the games these teams have played. 11 out of 12. The Jays have had at least 1 home run in the ball game. 2 ball, 1 strike delivery up the middle, right between the wickets and underneath the glove. Talk about a seeing eye base hit. Bergeson had to go right through the legs, I think, and then just underneath the glove. Andino diving.
Now take a look at Bergie. And again, just can't get the glove down. Hit pretty crisply. They're playing up the middle. Andino's leaning that way. Put the glove down. Come on. No, didn't get it down. The glove's got to come out in front of you. Otherwise, you become a target out there.
So runners on at first and second. And 12 hits for the Jays. Aaron Sebia contributed a big 2 RBI double in the 4th inning. He is 1 for 3 in the series. On the year, he's sitting only 170 against the Orioles, but he has driven in 9 runs and has had a couple of home runs as part of that, and a strike taken. So the Jays really getting things picked up here as they get ready to head home. They're trying to complete a road trip at 500. They are 2 and 3 at the moment. 0-1 delivery, and it'll be foul back.
Well, he's got 6 home runs in his last 11 games, and again, rookie year as a catcher, 32 home runs at AAA last year. That'll get you up here.
Aaron Sebia is their hope behind the plate for the long term. Here's the 0-2 delivery and outside. 1 ball, 2 strike count from Bergeson.
I was talking to Buck Martinez, former catcher, broadcast here. He now does the play-by-play on television. I said, how about Adam Lowen? I'd read some stuff when we were up there. He's hitting .319 with 40 doubles at AAA, 15 home runs, 75 RBIs already.
Yeah, we had some numbers on Adam Lowen while we were there. We didn't put them up while we were in Toronto, but Lowen, the trouble they've got is he has no place to play. Is he going to play right field when Bautista's out there? I don't think so.
Yeah, and Buck said that he put a lot of weight, not bad weight, just strength. He was a very lean guy and doesn't really have a position. He can play first, can play the outfield,
and he's out of options.
Yeah.
So if they bring him up, they've got to keep him sending through waivers. So they've chosen just to leave him at the minors. That sounds like a player who would be offered on the trading board.
Yep, or somebody would go get him, especially in the offseason.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Aaron Sebia trying to add to the 6-2 lead. He'll hold that count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And you'd love to be able to induce the ground ball double play here. It'd be the old Brad Bergeson, the guy that could throw grounders at wills that's seen back in 2009.
Orioles only 3 hits in this ball game, and against Toronto, they've had only 17 hits in this series. That bounces and comes off the grass into foul territory. From foul territory.
Might have gotten right at the edge of the warning track in the grass and then kicked back. And this conference says, okay, that ball was up and in, and he reacted pretty well to it. What do we want to do here? Really good changeup by Brad. That's one of his better pitches. Doesn't use it a whole lot to get out of the last inning with a strikeout.
Encarnacion, Erasmus, the runners, and a good pitch down and in.
And that's another changeup. It looks like your sinker, but it's maybe 3 to 5, 6 miles per hour slower. Great movement. You don't get a double play ball, but you get the strikeout. Excellently thrown.
So that's the first out, leaving the runners at first and second base, and that will bring up McDonald. He's had a double and a single, popped out, and he's had an RBI. For John McDonald, 0 for 1. 0 for 2 off Bergeson. That one's going to be a fair ball. Yes. Runners take off. Encarnacion will score. Rasmus headed to third. The throw to second to hold him to a single and an RBI, and it is a 7-2 ball game.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, over 300 his last 13 games. That number, 324, has gone to about 350. Right there, just kind of finds a hole. Ball up. Doesn't swing, doesn't overswing. That's not John McDonald. Here comes Encarnacion, easily scoring.
So McDonald keeps the hit parade going. That will equal his high in hits this year. He had a 3-hit ball game against the Angels back in the opening month, and he's got 3 hits in this one.
And it brings up the phenom again.
Laurie up. Everybody will be looking at, in the American League at least, will be looking at video of this series. Try and get a book going on Laurie, as he's had a homer, a single in this game, 2 for 3, 5 hits and 10 at bats in the series. And the play is going to come home. Tatum's right there, and they got him.
Yeah, nice play by Brad Bergeson on a really good sinking fastball.
Rasmus trying to score, going on contact, is out at the plate.
Yeah, but just this ball dive bombs, and all you can do is hit the top half of it. Then the athleticism of Bergeson easily, and then Tatum says, "You're not getting to the plate." Watch him block the plate right here. Again, nice play by Brad. Get it to him. Perfect throw. Yep, no way to get home.
So that's the second out recorded at the plate. And the top of the order, Raja Davis.
I'll give you the scouting report right now. Don't throw him any belt high fastballs. Talking about Lowry. Sinkers and good breaking balls. Does that sound familiar? High and tight, low and away?
That's been a much spoken about formula over the history of baseball.
That was the Earl Weaver pregame meeting. Never throw this guy. Well, Willie Randolph. Willie used to irritate. Never throw him a high fastball. Well, that's what we do. You know. There he is. What a pest he was. First major league home run. I got him going.
Off Willie?
No, off me. Yeah.
Down to third, backhanded by Bell. Got a very speedy runner, and nice play again by Reynolds. He saves a potential error right there and ends the inning. So the play again, Bell, that one hit hard to him, and Reynolds doing it at first base. First Blue Cross Blue Shield's contributing $50 to support the Living Classrooms Foundation. 312 walks, $15,600. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Jays trying to get the rubber match, and they've got the 7-2 lead, out hitting the Orioles 13-3 in this ball game. Double by Andino. The home runs by Reynolds have been the 3 hits off Romero. And Tatum has struck out and flied out. Romero going after the 9th victory. His 4th start against the Orioles this year. He is 2-1 against the O's this season. 0-1 pitch. Still only 78 pitches thrown in the ball game.
That's still 88 to 92, maybe 93 every once in a while.
And the 1-1's just going to miss outside. 2-ball, 1-strike count from Romero. Lefty gets it inside, fouled off. He generally, not generally, he's almost always over 100 pitches. First 2 starts, 96, 93. 1 game where he's been 74, 1 game at 96. Every other start, he's pitched somewhere around that 112 mark. 126 thrown in that game against the Orioles, his last outing against them.
Yeah, and the good news for the Blue Jays and Ricky Romero is that a lot of innings. You know, a lot of guys will throw 100, 106, and they have trouble getting to the 5th. He just knows how to pitch. Not a thrower, he's a pitcher.
Even up count, 2 balls, 2 strikes on Tatum.
Look at that. 60 strikes to 20 balls all afternoon. Another great pitch.
Third base, Laurie up, off the mark, and the tag is put on by Encarnacion. 1 away in the 8th inning. Follow the Orioles with MLB.com at Bat 2011 app, iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Scores, highlights, maps of Oriole Park. Check in at home games, improve your seats. You can upgrade at the ballpark. Text at Bat 31826 or go to Orioles.com for details. Leading innings eater in the American League so far this season has been led by Verlander with 188, then Sabathia, Weaver, Hernandez, King Felix, Dan Herron's up there, and Shields. They're the top group in innings pitched at 188. Romero coming into the ball game was just out of the top 10 by about 4 innings. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Josh Bell. Bell 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, this is not a good matchup for Josh. Not playing a lot, only 17 at bats coming in today, and you have a guy that's just not going to give you anything real good to hit. Everything's either going to be in on you or off speed.
Bouncer off the glove of Romero right to McDonald. A 1-4-3. And there are 2 down. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Gonzalez in the bullpen for the O's. Brian Bergeson working 2 1/3 innings so far, if indeed he's coming out of there. Here is Blake Davis. As Torres had to come out of the ball game with a strained groin, Davis came on to play for him. 1 at bat, flied out to center in the 6th inning. So his Torres, I'm sure, is now going to be a day-to-day. But Showalter said before the game today that Chris Davis, the first baseman, looks like he's ready to get back. Whether that will be tomorrow or Tuesday is unclear at this point. And the same thing with J.J. Hardy. That high ankle sprain. He apparently is about ready to get back in. They're just kind of going on a day-by-day feel as to how they come to the ballpark.
Yeah, J.J., we're looking at Chris Davis right there. The report on him was he just kind of slept on his shoulder, and J.J. says, I have no idea, when we talk about J.J. Hardy, to how I just got irritated. You know, sprained ankles when he was a kid, basketball and whatever, and man, maybe it was a hard field. He said, I know it's not my stealing and running bases because I haven't attempted one yet this year.
If you got bad ankles, it doesn't take much to turn them. You know, you're walking down the sidewalk and step on a crack that's a little deeper than you thought and turn your ankle.
And just think about, again, being a shortstop and having to go to your right and your left and in and out and so forth. And I told him, you're swinging too hard.
He's not going to probably stop.
No, he's not.
Romero thought he had that. Pretty close pitch to Davis, and a 3-ball, 2-strike count.
Of course, on the last road trip, he had, what, 7 hits, 5 home runs? I said, how about a soft single to right? He said, it's not really working right now.
No. Blake Davis in the air to center. They were playing shallow, and that's not shallow. That's way back, and that'll come off the wall. He's got a double. He'll stay there as Rasmus gets it in. Rasmus had to run half the length of the outfield. He was way in and over towards left.
Well, we told you that he matches up better against righties and lefties, and only Markakis, the left-hander. But it is the 8th inning, and he has thrown 91 pitches. Blake Davis, key hit last night in the win, created the first and third situation off of Brandon Morrow, so he gets a chance to play, and he gets another base hit, this time an extra base hit.
4 hits now for the Orioles. Andino has one of them a double. He's 1 for 3. Down the line in right field. Bautista goes over, but there'll be no play.
Tell you what, he really, I mean, you talk about Jose Bautista, when you look at an outfielder, not that he's the best right fielder, even though he played most of the year at third, his energy out there, even though he's struggling a little bit against the Orioles with home runs, I mean, it's amazing. He runs every ball. It doesn't matter where they are.
Andino with the 0-1. When I talked with him in Toronto, the interview we did up there, he said, I'd rather play right field. He said, I think I contribute more to the ball club in right field than I do at third. And I said, why? He said, primarily it's my arm. He says, I've got a good arm. I can throw. I can throw people out. And he said, I think that's underrated in what it contributes to a team from an outfield position. So that's where I'd like to play, and that's where he is.
And when you consider that's the longest throw and what do runners want to do, get to third base, why not?
That'll be a tough play right here. Andino, good speed. Laurie got him. Laurie looks like a different third baseman than the one who struggled a bit in the first start, and of course he's got 2 games under his belt now. Southwest Airlines new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. And by Hyundai, it's time to join the movement. Here in Baltimore, a warm summer Sunday afternoon. Toronto's heated it up at the plate, 7 runs on 13 hits. The Orioles 2 runs on 4 hits, and we go to the 9th inning. Great performance by Ricky Romero.
Oh, it really, I mean, when you take the conditions he pitched in and the efficiency.
2 runs on 4 hits, both home runs by Reynolds. Didn't walk anybody, and he struck out 5. Ferguson will stay on. Escobar 1 for 4 in the game, 5-game hit streak for him. Bautista and Lind are due up. Hitting .303 in the year, grounded to short. Andino. Our Hyundai Game Flow brought to you by Hyundai. Time to join the movement. The movement today has been a couple of one-earned runs in the third, a 3-run, 4-hit fourth inning, home run by Laurie in the sixth inning, and then another RBI single McDonald in the eighth as they spread out the runs and the hits the Jays had. That has given them the lead. Reynolds with a couple of home runs to the Orioles, accounting for the only 2 on the board. Bautista doubled, 2 RBIs, 1 for 4. He's now 2 for 12 in the series.
Yeah, after the error, he's the one that cued it over the bag in the first 2 runs for the Jays this afternoon.
Infield shift is on. Davis, the second baseman, playing on the shortstop side again. Bautista with an 0-2 count. 160 is average against the Orioles this year, and we'll foul that one away. Day off tomorrow for the Jays as they head back to Toronto. The Orioles stay right here and start a 4-game series against the White Sox. Jeremy Guthrie and John Danks. And Bautista's gone.
So when Brad Bergeson can stay over the pitching rubber and be able to get his arm up, he can sink the ball, he can get on top of his slider, he can throw the good changeup. But when he gets going too fast down the slope, arm never catches up. Everything's flat. But today, other than the 1 run, did a nice job.
He'll get a nice hand as he leaves. Nick Showalter wants to get some time in for some of the bullpen guys. Gonzalez being one of them. He's coming in. (51862) results on the O's Extra postgame show. Michael Gonzalez on to pitch.
Yep, pitched pretty well in Kansas City. So again, good numbers against the left-handers. Righties are wearing them out. This is a matchup situation with 2 outs here in the 9th inning. Actually, his windup was probably the best I've seen it in Kansas City. Real quiet.
Lynn, the .278 hitter off left-handers, will take the pitch away. Actually, a point better than he is against the righties. He's had an 0 for 4, maybe his last chance to extend the 3-game hit streak that he has. And Gonzalez will have to turn around the other way. He gets it, and he gets the out. Took a 360 to get there, but he got him on a couple of pitches. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Orioles, last chance, trailing at 7-2.
those days, their starter better than your starter, and as a result, a 6-2 game.
Well, Ricky Romero takes his record to 3-1 versus the Orioles, 6-3 lifetime. He's given up 4 hits on the day, pitched a beautiful 8 innings. Orioles did have one highlight on the day, actually 2. Reynolds hit 2 home runs. One was a monster.
Yeah, so we're coming back to break it down. Bottom of the ninth coming up. For now, back to the booth. Gary and Jim.
All right, Jim, Rick, thanks very much. There you see the score, 7-2 going into the bottom of it. And as Jim was saying, indeed, Ricky Romero, the leader in this ball game, he's out of there with a chance to win it. 4 hits, 8 innings, couple of runs on home runs, didn't walk anybody, and efficient with 94 pitches. Casey Jensen comes on to pitch.
29-year-old right-hander out of Orange, California. Missed all of 2008 with shoulder problems. Had the labrum repair, so anytime he's able to come back. Very good against lefty. Markakis will lead it off. They're only hitting a little over 200. Righty's a little bit better number, but again, runs at only 7 of his 34 appearances, and the Jays, 7th best bullpen in the American League out of 14 teams.
Nick Markakis 4 for 13 off Jansen. He's had an 0 for 2 in the ball game and been hit by a pitch. Markakis, Jones, and Guerrero, bottom of the 9th inning. Victory will give the series to the Jays. The Orioles came back to win the ball game 6-2 last night after they lost the opener, a 1-run ball game 5-4. And the Orioles' struggles against the East will continue. If the Orioles do not come back, they will be 14-31 against the East, 4-8 against Toronto, 3-8 against Boston, 1-9 against New York, and 500 against Tampa Bay at 6-6. Red Sox have the best record against Eastern teams. They've won 29 ball games against the East, 29-13. Then the Yankees, 23-19, and Tampa Bay at 21-19. Here's the 2-1 delivery, and that's going to be to right field and a base hit. So Nick gets a single to lead off the 9th inning.
Against the guy that dominates righties, but again, Count has so much to do it. 2-0, he aired it out and got a better pitch to hit, singled into right field, and you need runners, many of them.
Adam Jones has a 500 average against Casey Jansen. He's 5 for 10 with a homer. Maybe Adams' last chance to become the first Oriole to have a home run in 5 consecutive home games. Nobody's ever done that. He's done it in 4 straight. In this ball game, an 0 for 3.
Eddie Murray, Albert Bell, Melvin Moore, and Luke Scott, the other guys that have done it.
And he'll foul that one off the plate.
Well, 92-point difference between what Jansen does against lefties and against right-handed hitters. And I always felt that, again, maybe threw a little bit harder before the labrum surgery, but a lot of deception there, a lot of movement.
Orioles coming into this game have won only 7 out of the last 29 against Toronto, going back to the beginning of 2010. Toronto's been a dominating team against them, and so far today, they've done it again. John Farrell's team with 13 hits and 7 runs.
3-15 in 2010. So if they lose today, they'll be 4-8. They'll one more win, but it's not the numbers you want.
0-2 delivery, runner at first base, and came in on the hands, and it's fouled off.
Yeah, Jansen, one of these, you have a couple of ways. You can be tall and fall, even though he's 6'3", so you stand tall and you fall, or you kind of a drop and drive guy. And to me, that he's one of those varieties. So again, you kind of drop and then really use your legs.
Just a piece. That bat will stay alive with a 2-strike count on Adam Jones.
Yeah, the Mets, boy, when you think back, I mean, you had Koosman, you had Nolan Ryan, you had a lot of guys, Gary Gentry. Rube Walker was the pitching coach, was a former catcher, and boy, they all could drop and drive with the best of them. There's Tom Seaver in that group. Can't forget Tom.
0-2 delivery and a big pop-up. Laurie. And will run out of room. So Adam will keep his at-bat alive with a 2-strike count.
Well, that 5th home run might have come if that ball's a little farther out over the plate. Pretty good swing. Well, it's a game of 27 outs, so the scoreboard doesn't look good. Romero's gone, and it's up to their bullpen.
Last series, the Orioles won. Going to go back to June 24. They took 2 out of 3 from Cincinnati since then. They've lost 8 series and tied 2. So it's been a long time since a series win. Here's the 0-2 delivery, and a little bit more inside that time, and a 1-ball, 2-strike count. If it stays this way, Romero will be 10-9 the winner, 3-1 this year against the Orioles. Simone will take the loss. He'll go 3-5. Jones on a wild cut is gone.
Well, it's nice to unveil a breaking ball, and even better when you can execute it like this. I mean, that is about as good a curveball as you can throw. The illusion, it starts in the zone and just zips low and away.
That'll bring up Vladimir Guerrero. Vladdy is 0 for 3 in the game and 0 for 9 in the series. Vladdy hitting at .278, 9 home runs. And off Jansen, he'll cue it foul.
Yeah, they play Vladdy to hit the ball in the air to right, and then, as you mentioned earlier, their infield, they don't play him the pull, but Escobar is going to move over in the hole, so a huge area for ground balls up the middle. But again, that's what the scouting reports tell them.
It's an unusual alignment.
Yeah, it really
obviously is. That's what they track every ground ball hit on the season, and that's where he hits them. Guerrero's 2 for 16 off Jansen. One of the hits a home run. Markakis at first base with 1 away. Jansen with a heater, and he reared back on that one.
Well, 91, and then great breaking ball to strike out Adam Jones, and then a little extra to Vladimir Guerrero at 93, and up and away.
Jansen with the 0-2, a little softer. There's one. And that's the game. That'll do it. So the Jays come away with a 7-2 win in the ball game and take the series 2 games out of 3. And the victory goes to Romero. And we hope you'll join us again tomorrow. It'll be the first of 4 against the White Sox. Jeremy Guthrie will go up against John Danks. Our coverage at 6:30 on MASN 2 HD with those extra, presented by Verizon Wireless. Our game coverage at 7. For Jim Palmer and our great crew here at Camden Yards, I'm Gary Thorne. Have a great Sunday evening, everybody. Jays win this one 7-2, the final. This has been a MASN presentation. Jim and Rick coming along, those extra. Take a look at Reynolds and the long balls hit today. That's next.